England. So far, the Brazilians, much touted, among the favourites for the World Cup in Italy, have yet to score this year. They'll be looking to correct all of that tonight, and they've got a pretty strong-looking side out to do the job. There's the goalkeeper, Tafarel, reckoned to be one of the best in Brazil's history, maybe the best since Gilmar. The Bulgarians on the left of your picture there as the anthems play here, finishing bottom of their group. Atmosphere here, perfect conditions. It's about 75 degrees, or if you prefer, about 23 degrees on the centigrade scale. Balmy evening and an atmosphere almost fit to grace the World Cup final itself. Stadium packed with those samba dancing Brazilian supporters in their yellow shirts. And in a moment we hope to get a check on the teams. I can tell you that the Brazilian side, though, has got several of the big names there. Careca and Alamao are back from Italy, where they've helped Napoli to the Italian Championship. The Brazilians posing. And at the back, an interesting selection again is Mauro Galvão, who played in a little friendly the other night when Brazil beat the Fluminense youth side 8-0, and much impressed the manager Lazzaroni. And Mauro Galvão could well stake his World Cup place tonight. He's in the side. Aldair's there too. And the Bulgarians there, well, they'll be very much aware that they're here as the chopping blocks. They finished bottom of their group in the qualification tournament, and they haven't actually been out as an international side since that. That was back in November. There is the Brazilian side. Tafarel in goal, Jorginho, Aldair, Ricardo Gomes, Galvão I mentioned, Branco, watch out for him with the free kicks, Alamao, Valdo, Silas, so important in the midfield. Muller gets a chance tonight up front alongside Careca. So it's a strong looking Brazilian side here that the Bulgarians are facing. And Bulgaria, I suppose they'll turn up themselves, hoping to resurrect something from what's been a fairly ruinous 4 years for them. There is their side, and the man to watch out for there is the man in the number 8 shirt, that's Stoichkov, who's just signed for Barcelona in a £3 million deal, so he's obviously pretty useful. Much of that side based with the strong CSKA Sofia team, who've won the Bulgarian Championship 27 times. Referee, Mr. Da Silva. So we're all set here then in the Stadium Brinco de Ouro here in Campinas, near Sao Paulo in Brazil. It's Brazil against Bulgaria. This action coming to you live on Eurosport tonight. It's going to be interesting to see just how ambitious the Bulgarians are here, but I suspect it'll be rather a survival exercise for them if this goes to the form book. An early corner kick for them. Brazil, of course, who won 1-0 in both Holland and Italy on their European travels. Impressive results. That one's away by Ricardo for Brazil. Here's Alamao in the midfield from Napoli. carefully. And this is an impressive beginning. Remember the Brazilians without Romario, still a broken leg victim from PSV Eindhoven. Stoichkov that was, just slipping. What's the referee given? Free kick to Brazil. Muller there was looking for the break for Brazil through the middle. Bulgaria with the chance to build again. Bulgaria, who finished bottom of their group, a group that included Greece, who they lost to 1-0 in their final qualification game, and Romania and Denmark, who rather dominated the group. Romania were the side who went through. And just listen to this crowd, wolf whistling as the Bulgarians pass back in the early stages. But the onus very much on Brazil here to come up with a performance. Zayanchev. Feeding it back to Ivanov. Now Dimitrov. Number 10 is Ayadanov. Dimitrov again. Trying to play the long ball through, easily cut up, but that's a bad mistake there. Almost let in Stoichkov there for the Bulgarians, but just a little bit lax at the back from Mauro Galval there for a moment, and Bulgaria almost had a sniff of what would have been a shock opening goal. A free kick for them, and Stoichkov is the man who's going to take it. A £3 million man, just signed on a 4-year deal by Barcelona. Tafarel's got his wall organised. Here's Stoichkov's free kick. Well, that wasn't a £3 million effort, was it? No problems for Tafarel with that one, and it gives Brazil the chance to build. Branco. Leading inside for Alamao. Alamao, who's lost favour at one time, but is on his way back to re-establishing himself as a regular in the Brazilian side. Looking for Jorginho on the overlap, just overhit slightly. Vasev then with the throw for Bulgaria. Bankov, Vasev again. And again, some rather sloppy defending from Mauro Galval. Gives Bulgaria the chance to break. But in the end, snuffed out easily enough. Franco got back, and with the help of Tafarel, the scare was over. Brazil, of course, past masters at just stroking the ball about, seeming to play in bottom gear, and then suddenly shifting up into overdrive before you know where you are, and suddenly they've hit you with a goal. Ivanov on the break for Bulgaria. Here's Stoichkov. And the Bulgarians are making quite a positive start without really threatening a goal so far. Now here's Valdo. Muller. And that Bulgarian defence. Tigerish in the tackle, quick to cover. Be a big morale booster for the Bulgarians, of course, if they could get any kind of a result here. Alamao again. Still with his socks rolled up at the moment. He does like to play with them down by his ankles. That'll probably happen before much longer. Now Branco with the cross. Cut out by Iordanov. Alamau much in evidence early on, but dispossessed. The Bulgarians, in fact, they've made the World Cup finals on 5 occasions without ever winning a match. It's a fairly extraordinary record. And 1990 all a far cry for them from 1986, when they appeared in the big showpiece match in the Azteca Stadium, the opening game against Italy, and actually got a 1-1 draw out of it. So that was a fair old result for them, but they were nowhere near qualifying this time. And Brazil, if the form book is to be believed, should give them a real walloping here. But how much will Brazil want to show so close to the finals? Their first game with Sweden in Turin is 36 days away, that's all. A game you'll be able to see on Eurosport. In fact, you'll be able to see every game on Eurosport from the World Cup. This is the station to stay tuned to. Now Brazil on the break again. Oh, that's a nice looking ball. Here's Muller with a chance, and Muller with a goal! And the Brazilians then just turned on the magic. Muller is the scorer. Lovely goal. The ball slipped through by Valdo. Muller getting away from the defender, and the finish clinical. So the Brazilians explode into life here. Their first goal of 1990. And will that be first of many, I wonder, tonight? There it is again. Lovely little ball through. And Muller, well, he couldn't have done that better, could he? Back in the side tonight, Muller. And that's going to do his confidence the world of good. Now Valdo. And that's going to pep the Brazilians up. This side has been criticised for maybe being more efficient than some Brazilian sides we've seen, but perhaps lacking a little of the flair and fantasy, certainly on the recent European campaign. But when the mood strikes them, I think this team is capable of big things, as they showed just then. Great move, good goal. Muller the scorer, and giving the Brazilians an early boost. Is Valdo. Branco. Ricardo Gomes feeding Mauro Galvão. Razzle-dazzle from the Brazilians. We could, I think, be in for something very, very exciting in the fantasy stakes tonight. The crowd sense it too. They're really getting behind their side here. Of course, it's 20 years. A lot of people forget that, since Brazil have actually won the World Cup. They seem to start favourites just about every time, but 20 years since they've won, long overdue another trophy. By the way, at half-time, we'll have a real treat for you, a look back at some real Brazilian magic from 1970. Stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, back with the live action. Brazil 1, Bulgaria 0. What can the Bulgarians do about it? Brazil 1, Bulgaria 0, the goal scorer Muller. Yadanov with the cross for Bulgaria. Nobody's on the end of it. Yes, they are now. Kostadinov there, dispossessed, and here's Brazil with a chance to break again. Branco. He's got a lovely left foot. Look at that width of the pitch. Ball to the opposite fullback, Jorginho. Tremendous stuff. Now Alamau. And just for a moment there, the Bulgarians looked as if they might be well capable of giving away a second. Instead, it's brought away with Yadanov. Brazilians, in fact, have had a fair amount of problems with injuries and unavailability on the build-up to this game. Their squad of 22 for the World Cup, in fact, has already been named, but the manager, Sebastião Lazzaroni, has had a lot of trouble with getting everybody together because of all the European commitments of his star players. Free kick there, given against Aldair. Free kick then in a dangerous position, pretty central for the Bulgarians. Yadanov lining it up. Staichkov is there again. Yadanov. Fair try. Looked like it might have been going wide anyway, but Tafarel made sure. This will give us more of a clue. No real problems for Tafarel. Alamau, Valdo, now Branco. Valdo again. And here's Muller, the goal scorer. Maybe sniffing a second. But I wonder if those bookmakers who've laid what could be a generous 4-1 against Brazil winning the World Cup may be beginning to revise their opinions after tonight's little show. 1-0 already to Brazil. Aldair. This is him again. Alamau, who's been much involved early on in the centre of that midfield. Jorginho getting forward. Mullis keeping it in play. Careca trying to get on the end of things almost for the first time. And once again it comes back to Alamau, who seems to have so much time with the ball. Now Aldair coming forward, and Jorginho. Galvao. Yadanov. Out on this right hand side. Interesting looking run, chance, and it's a goal. A goal for the Bulgarians. Caught completely by surprise there. It wasn't properly cleared. It went to the far post, and it looks like Kostadinov might be the man who volleyed it in there, much to the astonishment of that Brazilian defence. Sloppy bit of defending really. Again, Mauro Galvao it was who didn't get his head to it properly, and the Bulgarians are level. Well, that's a real turn-up. Only 15 minutes gone then. Brazil 1, Bulgaria 1. Now here's Branco for Brazil. Out of play. So a real shock for Brazil here. Having gone ahead with that early goal from Muller, they must have thought it was going to be their night and they'd really be able to turn it on. But Bulgaria hitting him on the break there. And you have to say it was a sloppy piece of defending by Mauro Galvão. The man who, remember, I was telling you the manager had been much impressed by him in the previous training match. And you have to say in that first quarter of an hour, it's not the first time he's looked just a little bit slack. Here's Yardanov. Alamao. Silas. Alamao again. Valdo. Good move this, Branco. He's got men in there as well. The cross, not the greatest. Here's Alamao again. He seems to be behind just about everything Brazil do so far. Valdo breaks again here. And the goalkeeper, Ilya Valov, quickly off his line, snuffing out Alamao. But the Brazilians at times playing some lovely mesmerising football in midfield. Lovely little triangles between Alamao and Silas and Valdo. And I'm sure that's going to be a feature when the Brazilians get to Turin, where they're based in Group C. Dimitrov back to his goalkeeper. Bulgaria will be much encouraged by that equalising goal. Here's Yardanov. He's getting through a lot of work on the right side of that midfield for the Bulgarians. To Mauro Galvão, and Jorginho here on the overlap. Remember, it was from a cross by him that Careca scored in Holland, and that move looked very similar there until it was blocked out by the number 4 Vasev. Sleeve night in Campanhas. The drums beating, the sambas going on in the background, the dancing. The Brazilians are enjoying themselves. The only thing that's wrong so far for them is that the score is 1-1. Here's Branco with the in-swinging corner. Good work again there by the goalkeeper Ilya Valov. Here's the goal scorer, Kostadinov. And if he does nothing else, he'll be able to say that he scored against the great Brazil. In Brazil as well. Now Jorginho with the cross. And the defence not minding too much where they put it, as long as it's out of harm's way for a moment. Muller then for Brazil, Kostadinov with the equaliser after 15 minutes. Brazil 1, Bulgaria 1, live on Eurosport from Campinas. Here's Valdo trying to get his cross in. And it's interesting, the Brazilians, they don't play to any kind of set system at all, really. Branco, who nominally is the kind of left back, is over there taking the corner on the right wing. Big in-swinging corner, goes as far as Muller. Good cross from him. Yardanov gets it away, and Vasev completes the clearance. And Bulgaria, well, what can they create on the break again here? The Brazilians trying to get back, but there are things on here. It's a door off that was, trying to get in the cross. But blocked. But Bulgaria showing at times here that they can be dangerous on the break as well, despite their none too encouraging record in international football of late. This, remember, their first match since failing to qualify with an ignominious defeat against Greece by 1-0 back in November. But drawing 1-1 here with one of the World Cup favourites, Brazil. It's just Todorov again. No problems for Taffarel. And you can see that was a long, long way over the crossbar. Mauro Galvão and Alamau. Franco joining in. Out here is Muller. I beg your pardon, Valdo. Now Alamalo, is he going to try one? Intricate little movement here. Chances on for Branco, and he really does have a shot on him. The Bulgarians did well to get back there in numbers and cover that. The pattern already clear here. Lots of possession from Brazil. Lots of pleasing football from them. Bulgaria happy to try and suck them in and hit them on the break, which is what they're trying here. Number 9 is Balkanov. Good looking cross in. Taffarel there sharply off his line. But again, the warning signs just flashing a little bit. Balkanov up there looking for the support. And if he just pulled it back a little bit more, well, it could have been even more dangerous. But Taffarel was alive to the danger. 11 is Valdo. Muller. Muller, who has often been talked of as a kind of latter-day Garinchet, Jairzinho type figure, wearing a number 7 shirt for Brazil, but he's often been drifting here in this match over to this left side, playing in the inside left channel almost at times. Silas here. Oh, look at this mesmerising run from him. And Bulgaria happy to get it away. Lovely work though from Silas. Mauro Galvão. Muller, who's having a good game, feeding Jorginho. Cross comes in. Ilya was there for it. The Brazilians have been in their training camp at Teresópolis since late April. And they're on the final build-up now, and they'll be looking to slip into the kind of gear, I would think, that they can or would hope to display in Italy. You can only play your cards close to your chest for so long, of course. You can't expect to just turn it on when it matters when you get to Italy. You'd like to hit some kind of fluidity before that. And signs here tonight that Brazilians could be doing that. But not like that effort from Ricardo Gomes, which was optimistic in the extreme. And every time that ball goes behind the goal, I think the fans want to keep it and take it home for a souvenir, or maybe for one of those beach games on the Copacabana, although that's a fair way from here, I should say. greatest of goal kicks, puts Bulgaria back under pressure. Kareka getting into the action, haven't seen too much of him so far. Here's Silas. Now Alamau. Stubbed it really, didn't get hold of it properly, and you can see the frustration on his face. Still the socks are rolled up as well. Maybe Alamau is creating some kind of a record here tonight. Every time I've seen him before, he's had his socks down by his ankles. To the ever-involved Alamau. Jorginho joins the attack. Well, I think he was hoping that Muller was making a run there onto that far post, but the man in the number 7 shirt wasn't reading his mind. Just tuning in, it's Brazil 1, Bulgaria 1. Both goals in the first 15 minutes here. Muller for Brazil, Kostadinov for Bulgaria, with a volley on the far post after 15 minutes. Now Brazil trying to get their noses in front again. Is Silas. Lovely run from Silas. Muller is trying to get there, gets the better of Vasev. Cross coming in, but cut out by Ivanov, and that'll be a corner kick, taken quickly. Mauro Galvão with the cross in there, and those defenders have to be sharp. Brazilians always looking for something inventive, something just a little bit different. Taking the quick corner that time, this one time the long one from Branco, the in-swinger, and it's gone an awful long way here. A chance here, Muller and Ricardo, and the back heel from Kareka, and somehow Bulgaria survive. Well, they had about 3 lives in there. 3 people seem to have chances then of scoring. Just have a look at this again. First of all, it was Silas. Muller might have scored, Ricardo might have scored, and here Kareka with the back heel might have scored. But in the end, the men in white and green somehow survived that triple moment of anxiety. A bit frustrating this for Brazil at the moment, but still they're playing the football. And nice to watch it is too, a lot of it. Here's Branco. Branco, the man with the dynamite shot. Watch him if there's a free kick from anywhere, I don't know, out to about 60 yards, I reckon, after what we saw at Wembley. You sometimes see him take a kind of fast bowler's run up to them and let go from any range. Now, have a look what I mean here. Branco in the number 5 shirt. Have you seen a run up like this? Here he goes. And look how he can hit them and swerve them. And even from that range, he gave Ilya Valov quite a bit of trouble. Look at that. Look at the way it swung late. And I think Mr. Branco is going to be a nightmare for some goalkeepers in Italy. very much one-way traffic at the moment. But still, Brazil unable to find that second goal. Here's Ricardo Gomez, not to be confused with Ricardo Rocha. Muller there, looking so sharp, looking for the 1-2 with Careca. Comes wide. Jorginho ever willing to join the attack. Muller getting up again. And here's Jorginho joining the attack. Oh! And Careca on that near post read Jorginho's mind. Lovely flicked header. Couldn't quite keep it down. And it looks like the goalkeeper might have picked up a little bit of an injury in that scramble. This is a strong Brazilian side out tonight, but of course they're still without Romario, the broken leg victim. Bebeto is currently nursing a thigh muscle injury picked up last weekend. He should be all right for the World Cup though. And Mazinho's not here either, he's got a thigh strain. And you've got people like Dunga and Moser still on duty with their clubs in Europe. Another look at that little chance again for Careca from Jorginho's cross. Nice rapport between the two players. And maybe on another night that would have produced a goal. Well, I think Ilya Valov's okay. Valov, 24 caps, plays for CSKA. Now established as the number 1. He went to the last World Cup as the reserve goalkeeper. The Bulgarians actually progressed beyond the first round in Mexico for the first time in their history, but still didn't win a match. Looked a bit short of punch power, seem to remember. Now here's Branco for Brazil, feeding Muller. This is Alamão. Silas, Jorginho. Good player that Jorginho, always joining the attack, overlapping, getting back to defend when he has to as well. Very much Brazil's number 1 choice for the number 2 shirt. Brazil 1, Bulgaria 1. Yadanov for Bankov. Balkanov out there. But the Bulgarians increasingly here finding it difficult to create much. Yadanov is having a good game there in the midfield for the Bulgarians, getting through quite a lot of work, the number 10. Offside against Balkanov. Branco and Alamão combining menacingly. What can the Brazilians conjure up here? Nothing for the moment. I have to say that Alamão is positively running the game in the middle of that midfield. Now Careca. So skillful. Here's Alamão again, who looks as if he may have the role of playmaker pinned down, a la Gerson of days gone by. A reminder again that we'll be seeing the 1970 Brazil World Cup winning side in a little magical montage we put together for you for half-time. Still 1-1 here then, and the Bulgarians will be pleased enough with their work so far. They've defended pretty well against a side who obviously, in terms of individuals, outclass them, to be perfectly honest. But it's a useful test for the Brazilians, of course, against the European style. Remember, in their group they're up against Sweden and Scotland and also Costa Rica. Silas getting that wrong for once. Here's Branco, back to Alamao. It's a nice looking ball through, but read by Yadanov, who's been the most impressive of the Bulgarians so far tonight. Now, that was all a little bit ambitious by Todorov on that run forward, looking to pick out Dimitrov on the overlap, but overhit, and the flag was up anyway. Offside, and Brazil, for the umpteenth time, build again. Jorginho, Muller, Silas. Well, it's a nice ball through again. The chance there, and the save, a good one from Ilya Valov. Muller with the chance of striking for the second time in the match. We didn't really do anything wrong. He hit it hard and low, but the goalkeeper, albeit with his legs, kept it out. Probably with that sort of strike, a yard either side, hit low and hard, Muller might well have been celebrating his second goal by now. But credit the goalkeeper, he'd narrowed the angle. Corner to Brazil. Valdo will take it. Brazil looking for this second goal, but not looking like scoring it from that corner kick. Ricardo was up for it, but couldn't really get any directional power into the header. Building again with Yadanov. Bankov coming forward, trying the shot, but a long way off target. Number 8 there is Staichkov, the £3 million man, signed by Barcelona just recently. $50,000 crowd here, or nearly 50,000 anyway, in Campinas. About 60 miles from Sao Paulo, and they're so far seeing their heroes being held 1-1 by unfashionable and unsung Bulgaria. Nicely measured pass from Alamao, trying to release Aldair. Now the chance for the Bulgarians to build again themselves. Todorov playing it long there for Kostadinov, who was the goal scorer, but it was too long. Too long for him, and too long for Yadanov as well, who came forward on this right-hand side. So Branco with the throw for Brazil to Alamao. Couldn't resist that little bit of ball juggling. Good as he controlled it there. Nice to see. Jorginho getting forward again on the overlap, but Vasev is back well, hustles him out of it. What's the referee going to give here? Not your ball, he says to Vasev. That'll be a Brazilian throw-in. Silas. Some lovely live talents in that Brazilian midfield. Some lovely flow about their football. But so far, in truth, not able to find the punch to go with the build-up. And now here's Jordanov again for the Bulgarians, who've occasionally looked dangerous on the break, though less so, it has to be said, after the leading 15 minutes. Now here's Jordanov getting in the cross. And the Brazilian defence, I think it was Aldia who got back there to hack it away for the throw-in. The goal posing one or two questions about the Brazilian defence in the air, with Mauro Galvão producing an indecisive header which fell to the feet of Kostadinov, who said thank you very much with a volley on the far post. Throw to the Bulgarians. Silas is back, doing some defensive work this time, and Jorginho pops up in the left-back position this time, the right full-back. Mauro Galvão. Alamau. Valdo. I must say, I formed the impression watching the Brazilians against England at Wembley that they were capable of producing football a couple of gears higher than they were parading that night. But they can sometimes be deceptive. Their languid look about them, how far they can raise their game, we won't probably find out until the later stages in Italy. 1-1 so far tonight. Maybe they're conscious that this is being beamed around Europe. Don't want too many of the rival managers to see, particularly those, of course, of Sweden and Scotland, who, with due respect to Costa Rica, will be their main rivals in that Group C. Dimitrov here for Bulgaria. Bulgarians keeping possession quite frustratingly as far as Brazil are concerned over on this right-hand touchline. 1-1 still, getting on for half-time now. And the drum beats in the crowd have stopped for the moment. Is that a sign that they're sharing the frustration, I wonder, of the Brazilian players? Great piece of control by Aldair, and Bulgaria with Mr. Steichkov get the throw in. Vasev with the throw for Bulgaria. Nice turn by Steichkov, and he's brought down. Free kick then to Bulgaria, just outside the penalty area. And it really would set the cat among the pigeons if they were to grab a second goal just before half-time. The foul was by Mauro Galvão. And the Bulgarians pretty anxious, I think, to hold it at 1-1. They've only got a couple of men forward here. They're not exactly being too ambitious. Well, Taffarel had to watch that one. Nasty bounce. Steichkov's free kick bent quite nicely, and look at that, it only bounced about a yard in front of him. The Brazilians themselves are pretty adept at that kind of free kick. But well held by Taffarel, who's highly regarded. Into injury time then in the first half. The referee wants that throw-in just moved back a little bit. The Bulgarians, though, quite happy to take their time here. I think they'll look at the maker's name on the ball. They don't want to concede anything just before half-time. Certainly not making life easy, not being ready-made for guys at all, but now the whistle does blow for half-time. The half-time score here then, Brazil 1, Muller after 8 minutes. And Bulgaria 1, Kostadinov after 15 minutes. The whole of the second half comes up here on Eurosport. And during the half-time break, we'll be taking a look at the Brazilian magic of 1970. The Mexico World Cup there, great moments, great memories, but a first half here that's been pretty frustrating for the Brazilians after taking that early lead. Bulgaria heading them on the break, and after that, the Brazilians unable to break them down. So the half-time score here then is 1-1. Join us again in just a moment.